The morning started peacefully enough, or maybe I should say I fought very hard to make sure it felt peaceful, because from the moment I heard Mr. Anderson's voice on the phone earlier that day, something felt off, not loud, not obvious, just sharp around the edges. Now every week, I host these meetings with my team. We gather around ideas, stories, and emotion, art. Sometimes the pieces come from local galleries. Sometimes artists personally bring their work to Vibe 11.5. Sometimes inspiration just finds us. That's usually how it works. But today carried a completely different energy. For starters, Mr. Anderson arrived late. Not just him, his entire team walked in late behind him. And anybody who truly knows me understands I appreciate structure. I believe in starting on time. I believe in preparation. I believe professionalism can completely shape the atmosphere of a room. So before the meeting had even properly begun, I already felt my patience being tested. Introductions were made, and though honestly they didn't need to be. Most of the people with him had already worked within Vibe 11.5 before. They knew the environment. They understood the process. They understood me. But when Mr. Anderson entered the room, everything shifted. He didn't apologize for being late, didn't smile, didn't attempt to soften the disruption his entrance created. He simply sat at the far end of the table, folded into his chair, and silently observed everyone like he was already unimpressed. As the artwork began circulating around the room, I noticed his team becoming unusually quiet. It was almost as if no one wanted to react before he did. And honestly, that told me everything I needed to know about the dynamic. Then finally, he spoke. But before the words even came out, and he let out this slight sigh, almost exhausted by the entire experience before truly giving it a chance. And I'm not going to lie, that irritated me deeply. Still, I kept my composure, because regardless of how tense the atmosphere became, I wanted to remain professional, calm, controlled. But Mr. Anderson wasn't subtle with his criticism, not even a little. He looked at the artwork like it offended him personally. He said the pieces lacked depth, said they didn't move him emotionally, said everything felt surface level, disconnected, empty. Then he began questioning where the artwork even came from. So I explained it to him. I explained the artists, the galleries, the interviews, the selection process. I explained that every piece entering Vibe 11.5 carries intention behind it. But the more I explained, the more disappointed he appeared, slowly shaking his head, leaning back in his chair, looking almost insultingly unimpressed. At one point, I had to literally pause and breathe because I could feel myself becoming frustrated. And although I had thoughtfully prepared coffee for everyone attending the meeting, by the end of it, I found myself wondering if future meetings with this man might require something stronger. Because while I always understood Mr. Anderson to be confident, direct, maybe even intense, I never expected him to come across so cold, so dismissive, so unbelievably difficult. And somewhere during that meeting, I realized something uncomfortable. Confidence and arrogance can sometimes wear the exact same suit,